Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Yeah, the Ether chart is in a sense clearer than Bitcoin because the Ether chart shows more bearish follow through. It did not rally back into resistance in the same way that Bitcoin did. So the bulls are not so much in control here. Even on the Bitcoin chart, the bulls are not clearly in control because the bulls were not able to push above resistance. The bears, however, were not able to push below support. Here on the Ether chart, the bears seem to be more in control. It's just that that Bitcoin obviously shows a bit more strength. So as I said last week, one of them might be lying. If both Bitcoin, if Bitcoin was looking like the Ether chart, I would be more confident into trend continuation to the downside. So until then, until we see more evidence about trend continuation to the downside, I remain very flexible. I try to remain very flexible because I can tell you that even after the weekend highs here on the Ether chart, Friday's high, the move down hasn't been impulsive. I mean, what did I suggest to you in yesterday's video? In the last video, we talked about, okay, maybe, so the yellow wave count is anyway the preferred one, right? And I said, okay, look, maybe this is a wave 1 of circle wave 3, which will be down there. Target, by the way, 1450 for circle wave 3. Maybe this is a wave 1 leading diagonal because we have 5 small waves, even though this is actually too short, so it's not really valid, but it could all be some kind of a diagonal. Then maybe a small 1 down, a 2 up, and maybe we come down now in wave 3, but it's just not following through yet. So next micro support is at 1610, and below that I've got 1565. These are the next key targets for the bulls, for the bears to break through. And then we've got very important support at 1530. And below that, we will then probably arrive at that 1450 level. But very, very difficult for the bears to take the lead. Very difficult for the bulls as well. I mean, essentially, this is just the range, okay? I mean, you see that on the chart. We've just been moving sideways, and it feels like forever. I mean, we're just waiting for clarity here, to be honest. Waiting for clarity. The upside resistance is very clearly defined. I can tell you that my preferred scenario is the yellow wave count. So that's still what I'm leaning to. But with any analysis comes the level that, we have to change our perspective, which is 1726. The thing is, a break above 1726 wouldn't even be really in contrast to our primary scenario, because a high B wave could still happen from there and the yellow wave count could reset from up there. So this is essentially, if the B wave topped here and we sell off in wave C, then obviously we would have a 1-2 setup already in place, could start with a third wave breakdown next. But this would be a WXY structure. It can be an ABC with one more high because the C wave would be a 5-wave move. On the flip side, if we have 5 waves up, we can also consider something more bullish and say that, okay, possibly a lasting low was put in on the 11th of September. But until I have those 5 waves up, it's just not possible. And we just need to wait for a little bit of clarity on the chart. But I can tell you that Ether seems a little bit more bearish in the short term than Bitcoin. However, on the ETH BTC chart, if you're following that as well, we are very close to a turning point. So Ether might start to outperform Bitcoin very, very shortly. It's just not very evident yet on the ETH BTC chart. Just not very evident yet. But that's sort of what I'm watching in parallel. We talk about that in the channel membership quite a bit. I send signal through sometimes on YouTube here as well, but it's very close to a low. Maybe the low is already in. It reached my downside target. So yeah, I'm watching for a potential reversal. It's always tricky to draw conclusions for the USD charts, but if the ETH BTC chart is getting bullish, then oftentimes, at least in the past, it has led to some rallies on the USD charts as well. So I'm observing that, but key resistance remains at 1726. So it's very easy and very straightforward to say, okay, below 1726, I focus on lower in the yellow wave count, but would like to see more evidence to really get more confidence in it. And until then, a rally into the resistance area is of course possible. Even there, if it does that, it would just reset yellow wave 2 a little higher. It would just reset yellow wave 2 a little higher. And if it resets yellow wave 2 a little higher, no problem. It can start the third wave breakdown from up there. But above 1726, the white wave count is more in control. And the white wave count would simply mean, yeah, we get one more high into the $1,900 region where we have the next chance to put a lasting, or let's say a more substantial top in place. Also, Up there, we've got a very important resistance level coming through from the April high, touch the July high. And if we rally into this region, yeah, 1900, a few dollars more maybe, then the price could get rejected at the trend line and in Fibonacci resistance. So it's going to be a very interesting week. We'll also see how the stock market opens today. But overall, you could even argue, you know, that Ether is moving here in an overall trend channel. I mean, that remains to be seen, but the way this is going, Ether could be in an overall trend channel and just, you know, just be in maybe a massive diagonal or something. But overall, the good thing is we have on the daily chart, bullish movement to the upside. The move down so far looks very corrective. So at the moment, there is no need, also not on the daily chart, to change our perspective. There is a little bit of messy price action here on the shorter time frames, which is quite frustrating because it's boring and choppy. But overall, the situation on the daily chart and everything hasn't changed, and our perspective has remained quite consistent for several months, okay, and throughout the year actually. So yeah, I hope you liked the update about ETH. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.